Welcome to SanctionCheck 5 Single Search Tutorial. The SanctionCheck Single Search tool allows users to search for and review occurrences of the name of a person or business in multiple sanction databases at one time. Once you log on to SanctionCheck 5, you will see your action items listed on the main page in a navigation bar at the top of the screen. Click on the Single Search menu option at the top to open the Single Search page. Select the type of search entity to be entered from the drop-down menu at the top left. There are two main types. Select Employee if you are searching for a person, including employee, physician, or any other persons, and Vendor if you are searching for a business. If you selected Employee in Step 2, then several name fields are displayed. You must always enter a first name and a last name. The other name fields are optional. Middle names can be very helpful in the rule-out process. Former and maiden names can be used to avoid missing someone who has been sanctioned under a previous name. But remember, the more previous names you enter here, the more potential sanctions may be returned. If you selected Vendor in Step 2, then only a single field for vendor name is provided. You may then enter other identifying information. If you provide date of birth or NPI, and if a potential match also has this data in the fields, then that match will automatically be ruled out and will not return for review, which means less work for you. To the right of the criteria fields is a list of all the sanctioned databases you may search. All are selected by default, but you may check and uncheck these lists to select only the ones you wish to review. We recommend you leave all lists checked unless you have been directed to do otherwise. You may also add additional information to the Notes field below the additional information. Anything entered here will be shown on the review page during your review. Submit the search by clicking on the Single Search button. This should bring you to the Single Search review page. The information you entered on the Single Search page is shown at the top of the Single Search review page. The bottom half of the page lists the sanctions returned that are potential matches grouped by the sanctioned databases where they were found. The sanctioned name is shown on the left, with additional information about the sanction displayed to the right of the status options. The status of each sanction is shown to the right of the sanction name. The four large colored icons are the four status options you may select for each potential status. All potential sanctions are returned with a pending review status when you open the Single Search review page. Update the status to flagged match for a sanction you are unable to rule out during your review. You may later return to the potential sanction match and change the status to either ruled out or confirmed match. A sanction may be ruled out to indicate the searched entity is not the same as a sanctioned entity. Sometimes you may set the status of a sanction that is a true match as ruled out. You do not need to manually change every sanction status. Once you've marked all relevant sanctions as flagged match or confirmed match, click on the Complete button, and the system will automatically change the status of all pending review sanctions to ruled out. Click the Save Progress button to save, leave the review page, and return later. A confirmed match is a sanction deemed by you or your company to refer to the individual or vendor you have searched. Use the radio buttons below the icons to change the status of a sanction. Only one status may be selected for a sanction at a time. At the start of the review, all returned sanctions are set to pending review. The review is complete when all sanctions associated with each searched name have been changed from pending review. There are two smaller icons to the right of each row. These are optional tools to help you track actions, communicate with your team, and leave an audit trail. Here we have the View Details icon. Sanctioning agencies may provide information on a sanction in addition to that displayed on the main review page. Click this icon to display all detail for the sanction or to expand information that does not fit on the review page table. Here we have the reason icon. Click this icon to display the reason page, where you can assign a reason to the status you select for the sanction. You may also enter notes. If you wish to see all details for a listed sanction, click on the View Details icon to display the window below. If you wish to enter information about a sanction, click on the Reason icon at the end of the Sanctions row. This will display the below pop-up window. The reason code can be selected using the drop-down arrow to categorize why a sanction was given a status of ruled out. The Free-Form Notes field may contain anything you wish to describe or have a record of regarding the sanction and your status decision. Click on the Save button to record your work and return to the previous review page. There may be times when you are unable to rule out a potential match sanction, but your company has determined it can continue its relationship with the searched entity. You may rule out the search entity so that it does not return in future batches, and at the same time, add a note to the search entity to indicate that the rule-out was with qualification. Remember to mark the status of the sanctions associated with the search entity as ruled out when using this status field, if you do not want the sanctioned entity to be returned during the next reporting cycle. Thank you for using SanctionCheck 5.0.